Hi everybody, welcome back again. So finally got the new crank turn up and it's all nicely cleaned out. What I'm going to do today is just make sure everything is prepped and ready to go so that we can get the crankshaft sent away to be dynamically balanced, so it's all sweet in there. And so this will be hopefully a relatively short video. So what I'm going to be doing today is checking out the clearance between the main journal and the conrods once they've got their new bearings in. I'll be doing dimensional checks of the small ends plus the new piston pins, and then just assembling it to make sure it's ready to go. You effectively send your crank off to be balanced with the crank, conrods with fresh bearings in, your pistons and all its rings on there, and then they balance every component, so it will be as one complete unit ready to go and stick back in. So one of the preparatory steps that I've missed off here, unfortunately, sorry, because I did that when the crank first turned up, is I've cleaned it out. Looking at the old crank, let me just explain how this crank gets its oil. So usually the crank end would sit in the clutch case side. It sits in this little hole here, and there is a channel right at the end there that takes this feed here that comes out of the oil pump, okay, when it's sat on the block. That feeds along into this hole here, goes along this channel inside, comes up the right hand web as you sit on the bike, goes into the main journal for the crank. You got your two holes where oil is then fed into the big ends of the conrods, and then there's a small little channel that goes down the left hand side that comes out, but this is capped at this end, so no oil comes out of there, but you've got a small little feed in here just to keep the starter assembly all lubricated on its bearings as well. What you need to do when you're balancing these is you need to make sure these oil ways in here are clean before you send them off. So effectively all you do is there's a number 5 little dowel here that sits in the top. There's 2 of those, so they were removed, and then using a number 8 you take out the main sludge trap cap. This is a once only use item. I would advise anytime you use this, you know, just dispose of it afterwards. These are just thread locked in, so you can use these again. And then it's just a case of cleaning that out. You know, if I'm honest with you, every Ducati I've taken apart has usually been pretty clean, but I always just give that a clean out, stick some brushes down the different legs so that you can make sure that those are clean. So that's the bit that I missed, and apologies for that, but it's a pretty basic step. Okay, so the tools that I'm going to be using today just to put this crank together and do the dimensional checks. I've got a torque wrench that's capable of going through the different stages, which is 20 newton meters, 35 newton meters, and then about 65-degree final tighten down. Burning calipers, 0 to 25mm micrometer, and then the plastigauge for doing the clearance on the big ends. Okay, let's get this thing put together then. So first pin, 19.99. And 20.01, so we've got a 0.2 clearance in there that's well in spec, so we're good on that one. Second one, 19.99. And 20.03, so 0.04 clearance, which is just marginally outside the optimum spec. Let's just check I've got all the, it's definitely zeroed. Yeah, 20.03. So that's a 0.04, which is just outside optimum, which is 0.035, but within the service limit, which is 0.065. I think at next rebuild we'll probably be looking to get either a new small end bearing, if at all possible. Okay, so that's the small end measurements done. Next piece we're going to do is we're going to measure the clearance that sits on the big end journal, or the main crank journal, sorry, with the big end bearing. So what I need to do is take out these old bearings and put the new ones in first. So let's just do that quickly. So as you can see in there's a little tang that keeps the shell bearing in place. Okay, and it's just easy way to take them out is just push down on one side and then just lift it out. Just get that, give it a push, it'll come loose. There we go. And then again, there's the last one out. Okay. Just clean them out. Okay, so how do we go about sizing the bearings? There's two marks that you need to find on a Ducati crankshaft, usually written on one side in either paint or an indelible type marker that's oil resistant. Will be a marking. This one -4B. Now the important piece is B, so that we know that this is a B sized crank. On the conrods, when they're together, they'll look like this. There'll be punched in numbers on one side, but on the other side, etched in, will be a letter. It'll either be A or B. Now we have BB, and what I'll do is I'll just put up a table now. Looking at that table, you can see that BB says that we need one red bearing and one blue bearing. So what I've got here is one red bearing for each and then one blue bearing for each. Okay, what we need to do then is just get this assembled, and we're going to use for the clearance measurements on here plastigauge. Now our measurement needs to be between 0.025 and 0.059. So I've got a 0.025 to 0.175 millimeter plastigauge set. Effectively, when we measure this up, we want to be somewhere between this level of squeeze and just below this level of squeeze to be within tolerance. Okay, so let's start getting this assembled. So the bit you've got to be really careful of is not to touch that inside face with your fingers or anything like that, because it will cause the white metal there is a sacrificial coating, and then it gets down into the white metal surface or bronzed bearing. Again, you're looking for this little tang. Easiest way to do it, just push it down and grab it at the other end and just give it a little push as well. Okay, so that's one of the blues. Again, a little mark on the side there showing it's red. Again, there's a tang on one side. Make sure you line that up with the tang for this, and then just push that down into there. Okay, so you should now have two perfectly good bearing. What we then now need to do is put the plastigauge in that we're going to use. So I'm just going to position this upright like that. I'm going to put in top of the conrod, grab a little bit of plastigauge. If I use one of the old shells, I can roughly see what size I need. Place that down on the crank journal. So what you see there is the bit of plastigauge is just sat on the journal, and then I'm going to put the bearing over the top of that. Now the trick here is to keep it really steady, so they're nicely touched down. So we're just going to leave that one there. What we'll do is assemble the other conrod. I want to make sure that the B letter is facing on the same side on each of these, and then just to hold these in the right place, now I'm just going to put one of the piston pins to hold them both together. Another little piece of plastigauge. Now all that remains is to tighten the conrod bolts. So it's a 3-stage process. It's 20 Newton meters, then 35 Newton meters, then lastly we've got to do 65 degrees. So that's that now tightened to spec. The important thing is not to move that. That plastigauge is now compressed in there. What I now need to do is break it all apart. Now sometimes the plastigauge does go between both surfaces, but what you'll be able to see is the mark where it was sat, and if you take that and measure across there, you can see that we've got bang on the tight spec. That's how you check your running clearance on the big ends. So, clearance done. We can put this back together knowing that this is good. A very small amount of build oil in. That's the crank put together. What we'll do now is we'll put each of the pistons on. So it's important to note that these are free floating at this end. So on later cranks, they're small end located, i.e. this gap's tight. On the early cranks, they're big end located, which is, you see the gap is very small. It's very small clearance. So if you had a later crank, you'd notice that the pistons were much tighter. When you put it on and it's like that, don't worry too much. That's it. So this is a quick little video just to get this prepped and ready to send off for dynamic balancing. So this will go away now. I'm just waiting to hear back from dynamic balancing company as to what the lead time is to get that done. I'll provide an update once I've got that. If it doesn't come back in less than a week before the next video, then I'll do a video on one of my previous title winning bikes, just to fill the void. Okay, thank you for watching. Please do feel free to subscribe, give us a like if you so feel, and I'll see you in a week. Thank you, bye.